Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Curtain Steel in Supreme Raw Ultimate. In previous episode, Chile fell and we also did manage to capture a nice urban center over here in Brazil. Now today is going to be more advancing in Brazil. We'll be moving some of the troops. Oh, I've actually already given most of the orders to move the troops into here from Chile, and then we'll get them in position to start advancing further into Peru, but that'll probably take some time before we get in there. So I'll just be focusing probably mostly on Brazil today. We've got a lot of tanks over here more or less ready to start advancing, so what we'll do is we'll probably start advancing. As simple as. And then we should be getting some more artillery groups in here ready to be moved forward. We'll move one over there to the northern side, and then we'll have at least one, maybe two along the coast here. We'll just capture as much as possible. I mean, I suppose what we could do, actually it's probably going to be easier to attack there first. So we'll take two tank groups over there. I mean, technically speaking, we're going to attack all two, or both of these at once. And I'm sure that the one to the sort of deeper inland is going to be falling first. But yeah, we'll need to move some of these troops around it regardless to push further in. And then I suppose these could be going around. We should have the artillery moving in. We have another artillery group ready to move in now. We'll move that in probably somewhere around there. We can take this group and move within reach as well. And then let's go ahead and move in these around. And France is... oh no, that's a controller Africa. For you, I will put order accept. You're part of the faction. There's a bit of bombardment in here. There's garrisons, and that's one garrison there. I don't know if they've actually managed to destroy the other ports of the garrison there or not, but we'll just start advancing in all of these at once. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be 4 of them total. Oh, wait, no, there's only one. One garrison to move them all. Okay, yeah, that garrison is going down rather quickly. We're going to move in the other group of tanks here. We do not have supplies in here yet, or here. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, but I'm sure that we can clear out that fairly quickly. These two can start moving along here. We can push the artillery a little bit closer, so that we can then bombard the enemies further, and then these can push further in now. So we are going to be probably advancing fairly quickly in here, I would say. Let's bring in the artillery closer. Probably have these two going sort of around here, capturing the middle point in there. While I suppose, I mean, yeah, these can start pushing into the city now. And that's only 4 garrisons against 14 tanks. That's not going to survive all that long. Plus, we've got artillery support in here, so that means even more damage. You know what? We'll just attack from the northeast as well. Because why the heck not? Do we have? We've got 1% supplies in here. We can maybe leave one of these rest for a little bit. And we'll take in a bit of damage. Because I think 3 will be sufficient to clear out this. Although that one's really low on supply, so after this combat we'll probably pull that one back. We've got the artillery group over here. We can bring that closer. Yeah, that can move forward. That could move forward. We'll pull this one back a little bit. Then in the artillery further, and then these can push in as well. So we will have some problems with supplies, no doubt, in this region, but I think we'll be fine. Bringing the artillery closer so we can clear out that one, and we've got another unit design completed. Some new interceptor, and my goodness, there's a lot of trade deals coming in. And all of them seem to be fairly good deals overall, so I'll take them. We're still losing, or at least using a lot of money. I don't think we've gotten the... no, I don't indeed think that we've gotten the consumer goods in here built yet. No, but that is just a matter of a few days. It says 12 days, but it's actually going to be less than that. And then the tank deck is going to be done very shortly, so that's going to unlock some more tank designs. Do we already have those tank designs queued up in here? No. Is there something that is missing, or is it... it's not showing them in here. Oh well, it's probably going to require something else as well then. Right, let's go back to Brazil in the meanwhile. So we've got on these troops to move forward. We've got artillery support there. It's time to move these two in. These can start pushing further, cutting off this area, and that is going to flip to us over time. We've got a little bit of supplies in here already, so that's not too bad. Bringing the artillery within reach of this area so we can bombard the enemies quickly and keep on pushing forward. That has been cleared out, so we can push further in from here. We'll bring in the artillery again a little bit closer, and then these can start pushing Well, actually, do they have supplies in here? They technically do, though not for long. Right, let's move in the troops to attack. You're actually going to push even further. Because we want to attack Sarayoso once we've taken Al-Hoka. Then we'll want to attack from the jungle still. If we go in here, it's going to trigger the garrisons that are already in here. And if we bring in the artillery, that's going to allow us to push further in. These can advance along the road. And then that can probably start pushing in here. That is already switching sides, so that's good. We've got some Argentinian artillery in here. Probably not very long range, mind you, but it could help. Right, so we cleared out that. Let's move in these 2 groups into the cities. And clear out the remaining garrisons on the airfield here. They had a little bit of planes in there. Well, I say planes, but 1 group. Which isn't all that much, in all fairness. Right, so these are running a little bit low on supplies, so we'll have to wait over here for a few moments for the supplies to sort of spread back into the areas where we need them. And that one's run out of supplies, but this one's probably recovered by, or in the meanwhile. Where are you going? Okay, we captured the airfield. Are you going through, or are you go? Yeah, you're going over there. Okay. This is going to be a little bit tricky. We probably need to attack from the west first, and then just sort of go or move along the front here. Little by little. We got the artillery support. Move these 2 groups to attack. That one's still out of supplies, so it won't be able to help much. These could technically attack into the city. I mean, what we'll do is we'll retreat these a little bit. And we got the tank tech done now. Is that unlocking anything new? No. And it didn't actually unlock any of the tanks here either. Oddly enough, I mean, I suppose it could be that we just need to do some of these older tank techs to unlock the things, maybe. Although I don't think that's the case with this kit. Wait. Replace design. Obsolete design. Alright, you know what? We're gonna do that just in case, just to experiment a little bit. Because usually I play on nations that do not have their own designs, so I'm not entirely sure with what all that entails. Bring the artillery closer. Got quite a bit of troops to support in there. These are out of supply still. Okay, that one's slowly getting some supplies, and this one's getting some supplies, so let's advance these 2 inwards. That one might need a bit of rest. You know what, I'm just gonna pull this group back. I'm just gonna send another one instead. It might actually... No, the combat is still continuing on, so it didn't refresh the garrisons there. But that's alright. So these could be pushed forward by now. Those are hopefully resupplying. We got the artillery support to strike there with at least one of the troops. I suppose if we were to move both of these into the jungle, both of them will be able to fire in there. Although the artillery won't be moving quite as quickly if they're firing. But that's alright. So we've got 80% supplies in here. I think these are now in good enough shape. I'm going to move these into the city. We've captured it. Now we just need to get through the enemy lines there. These can probably start grouping up a little bit for another strike over here. A little bit further inland. Now there are still areas over here that we have... Oh, look at that. Paraguay has started pushing pretty deep into Brazil. Okay, we're going to move in now with all of these. So Joinville is probably going to be our next target, more or less. But how's Brazil doing in terms of the unity? I mean, the domestic approval rating is only 32%. The military approval rating is 91%, but we've started certainly making quite a dent into the lines here, or rather shortening the battle lines. Which is kind of what we wanted to do anyway, so that's good. We moved most of the troops away from Chile already. Well, some of them haven't actually started moving yet. We should have quite a bit of units waiting around here soon enough, including a lot of artillery. You know, the attack going north is actually going to be the one that needs a lot of artillery, because closer we get, the more American troops there's most likely going to be. And we need a fair bit of artillery to deal with those most, or at some cases at least. Right, are the troops rested? Let's have a look at the... Yeah, they got all the supplies that they need. Time to move in the artillery once again. And then these two can move in on the inland town there. We'll need to gather up some of these damaged tanks over here and just make them a group that is resting all the time being, while everyone else is pushing forward. There we go, that's another one that has been destroyed. Or captured, rather. And then we're not actually that... well, we're actually still pretty far from Rio de Janeiro. There's still going to be one big urban center between us. I mean, there's a lot of big towns over here, but like an actually large urban center is still at least one of them before we reach the capital area, and that is a massive area as well. Let's just go ahead and start shuffling around some of these. So is that's now 6 units, and then that is 6 units as well. That one needs to pull back, so we'll just pull that into a city. I suppose these could be sent over there as well. And West Germany wants to buy some petroleum. Okay, the trade deal isn't quite as good as it used to be, but it's still alright. Let's bring in the artillery once again closer. We got these two can move forward, and then I suppose we can pretty much start moving this entire stack here. And the artillery is about to be in position. I mean, we've got the Argentinian artillery to help us as well, so we just activate the garrison and it should be pretty good. Our artilleries are going to arrive there shortly. These can start moving forward along the road here, so we are right now pretty much unstoppable in here, I would say. I'm sure that could be better, but it's definitely not the worst advancing that I've done. And not massive amount of casualties. How many units have we destroyed though? 8,500, almost 8,600. Lost 121 units. But yeah, it's not the worst. Oh, I thought I gave you orders to move in there. Or is that one of the... oh, there's one from there. We've got a few options. We can attack over here on both of these at the same time. We could try clear out that one first, which is probably what we'll actually do. Just let the... oh, did we just get some supplies in here? No, not yet. It will spread in there. Oh. The Argentinians are splitting my troops here into multiple groups. Suppose if we attack from this side, we can take care of the village first. We got the artillery almost within reach. Well, actually, it's not within reach yet, but we can move it closer. And of course, there is also the gas fields there. So how is Argentina doing in terms of... they got a population of 41 million now. They got over 6 billion in cash. That is a pretty good amount of money. Got the artillery within reach. We got these troops ready. I think we're going to be attacking Paranagua first. And you can go ahead and clear out the industrial complex over there in the north. Because otherwise we are going to have some issues with that. There we go. So we'll clear out that one. Time to move in the artillery over here on across the road. Nope, we'll run out of supplies in here. For the most part. I mean, there's still that one garrison standing. We should have artillery support in there, but I suppose it's not doing quite as much as one would hope. As soon as the artillery is in position, I mean, technically speaking, it would be already within reach to start firing in here. Send someone to capture that. Then we can bring troops back here. We can maybe move these forward a little bit, so that they'll be close, but not quite... oh, right, we've got another group over here that is pretty close to being ready to fight again. So we got plenty of tanks in here, that's for sure. And the enemies just don't really have anything to counter my tanks. As long as I use them carefully. Yeah, that one's going down. I think we can start attacking in here, because that one's about to fall anyway. We got the artillery support in here, so this garrison is going to fall fairly quickly as well. There we go, that one already went down. Wait for a few moments for these to recuperate. I think we're ready now. Attack in there. So the airfield, there's one plane in there. Taking neutral fire. Oh no. We're taking a little bit of casualties in here, but overall we're still doing pretty strong. We can just push through all these garrisons. There is going to be some stuff over here to the flank that we'll probably want to capture. I don't know how much troops I'm going to commit to that assault though. One, two, there's 5 garrisons still remaining, although those are not going to last very long by the looks of it. Bring in some of the artillery in here. Provide a bit more support. I mean, most of them are within reach already, or at least were within reach at some point. Send these through. So this group... well, at least we got one tank over there. I suppose what we could do is we could switch one of these over. There isn't a barracks in here, is there? I don't think there is. Of course, this group we could also switch one of the tanks out. West Germany wants to buy some consumer goods. Alright, they're not paying quite the full price for it, but we've got 21,000 tons production per day now, so that is actually pretty decent. Although, oh, actually, we need to lower the price in here, and maybe not sell quite this much. That should give us a pretty good amount of cash again. Alright, so we cleared out that. Let's just go ahead and start moving some of these troops to the northwest. That could be switched to something fresher. Oh. Right, well that's a bit unfortunate. Those are already in good shape, those are mostly in good shape, but that is full strength. So what we'll do is we'll probably put in at least 2 of these guys in the flank over here while we push a bit north, or further north. We can bring in one of the artillery over here as well. I believe they are going... Oh, you're stopping there. Okay, I'm just going to take you and move you a little bit further. Provide more cover for the artillery. Oh, and of course over here I wanted to move one of these out and bring something else instead. We've got 2 going to Ponta Grossa. We'll probably have 3 troops going to Ponta Grossa total. Let's just take this one. Head over there. We'll have someone on the... or the artillery on the road. Oh, come on, don't you dare do that to me. Constantly. Okay, what I'm going to have to start doing is just using the entrench order. Force them to move out. Because I need to keep my troops sort of... well, I don't have to, but I prefer to keep them grouped up. We'll have this group that can start pushing north, so we'll have the 1 extra artillery group over here. And I guess it's time to start pushing northwest here. We're going to use all 3 groups at the same time, so this is going to be fairly quick. And I don't think we'll take a lot of casualties either. We have the artillery almost within, or almost in place. As soon as it's ready to start bombarding, which is now, we can start moving the rest of these in. And there we go, that is a massive amount of damage being put in there. Alright. Those can push forward. That we can cut off this area. I don't know if there's any enemy troops here. There might be. There is no guarantee of that. Let's just bring in the artillery closer. These can start pushing further north. And then we've got these troops in here. I suppose I could maybe try advancing further. But I know that the enemy artillery, or not the enemy, the Argentinian artillery over here on the road is just going to split my troops if I don't give them the proper orders. And then of course these could maybe be pushed further north now to join in with the rest of them. Oh, so there is a garrison there. Alright. Well, of course there's a garrison there. Speaking of, how much do the Brazilians now have troops? There's still over 1 million men total. Because that is largely just the garrisons. I mean, there's a little bit other troops as well. But garrisons make a majority of it. There we go, so that's done. Escape velocity is going to be soon completed as well. So that's going to get us a little bit closer on the space race, which we are definitely behind the NASA right now. I mean, yeah, the Americans have been doing a lot of research, and we did slow down our research for a little bit just to save up a bit of cash, but right now it seems like we're actually making money, thanks to the fact that we're selling a lot of consumer goods. Plus we got all the diplomatic trades as well going on. Let's just go ahead around there to bring in the tanks within position. We'll move in these forward. And we've got some Argentinian planes in here as well, which is kind of nice. Not that they'll be doing all that much. Oh, and that's uranium mines in here. Alright. I wonder if... I don't think Argentina has any designs for nuclear bombs here, but... they could always sell it to someone else. Which, someone else in this case is probably going to be America. Let's actually take this group, start moving towards the combat zones in here. If we can capture these 2, and then we could maybe cut off this road here. And we'll clear out along the river up to here, at least. And then maybe clear out all of that as well. It's not necessarily needed, but we could do it. I'm guessing we don't... Oh, we got a little bit of supplies there, that's good. First what we can do is we can start moving these forward. And the artillery as well, so we can take the town and slowly start moving towards the urban center in here. In Sao Paulo, and then after that it's going to be Rio de Janeiro. I mean, there's going to be basically constant row of towns in here between those two, but we'll be able to get there soon. And now that we've got the troops pretty much in position, we've got the artillery in position, we've got the troops in position, so let's just go ahead and advance towards the town here. Iterara. There's 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, and 4 down. Move the artillery. And then we've got these 2, which I suppose can start pushing further northwest. So there is going to be a lot of towns over here. So what we'll probably do is, once we capture this area and cut off that one, we'll move in one of these back west again. And then I suppose we got these that are repairing right now that could maybe help on the push towards the Sao Paulo. But that is going to be probably quite expensive advance in terms of manpower. Well, at least ammunition, if not manpower. We might need a bit more production for the industrial goods. I think we are at our max capacity already. And there's only a few hundred tons. I mean, are we building? No, we're not building. It's just for the goods production. Alright, do we have any areas that we built those already where we could still fit more? Probably not. Well, maybe over there. There's still pretty good supplies in there. How's the unemployment? It's 4%. Okay, so we could definitely build up another industrial complex or industrial goods factory. And then we can probably increase the consumer goods again. Then maybe a little bit electric power again somewhere around Moscow. Although I suppose there's also other areas that we could just increase the supply limits a little bit. I just need to figure out some areas where we've got a lot of production going on. Stalingrad is already pretty decent supplies in there, which is... Okay, that one's the supply location by the looks of it. There's a bit of hydropower in there. There's a lot of, or a decent bit of oil production. So I'm just going to build some supply depots in there. 2 of them should get us to 100%. More or less. I mean, because it's already 60%. So there's some Pakistani recon units there. Alright. We've got some more troops over here that we could actually push forward. I'm going to bring them towards the northwestern front line here. Cut off the river, and then we can clear out the remaining of that. Speaking of which, we haven't really gotten into position with these troops yet. But we can certainly do that. Have we gotten... Right, we haven't captured this one yet. Let's just go ahead and take care of that. We've got the artillery in position. And I suppose what we could do is we could start sending these forward. There we go, those are being dealt with. And that one's being captured as well. You can have one of these go across, or towards the road there. Bring the artillery within somewhat reasonable distance. And then send one of the tank groups over here for the northwestern front. I mean, we've got the older tanks going there as well. But that's hardly an issue. First of all, I'll just select that one, and we don't need to use the troop move order right now. But before we forget, let's give you the entrench order so the Argentinian artillery doesn't push us to the side. Right, so there's another research center over there. There's a lot of hydro power and a few other things. There's a bit of troops to the side there. I mean, I suppose, technically speaking, we could bombard them, or what we could do over here is, while I know that I said that I prefer to keep my troops in, or grouped up, I'm just going to sort of set up a bit of a defensive line around the artillery. So it's going to be able to sort of stop any enemies from reaching or going through here, hopefully. Not that there's probably going to be all that many enemies going through there anyway. As Brazil has lost most of their troops. They don't like us anymore all that much. Has there been any other casus bellis recently? For provocation, Peru, Andorra, Pakistan, Lebanon, Panama, UK is pretty high. Egypt, Switzerland, even Turkey is pretty high. I mean, if we need to conquer Turkey, then we need to conquer Turkey. Okay, you're not going to survive there. Let's go ahead and move these into combat. We seem to be doing good damage. This one's taking a little bit casualties in here. But the other two groups should be able to advance into Arpongas fairly shortly. And we still have the artillery support in here, so that's going to be good. And once we clear out that, we'll probably need to... Ooh, actually, that's going to be a little bit tricky. We could attack the northwestern town here, Cambe. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure how easily we can get in there. Did we bring the... We got the troops arriving, hopefully, here shortly. They haven't actually gotten in here, though, and that T10 is probably going to get destroyed, isn't it? Wait, I didn't mean to move you. You stay there, but the artillery does need to move forward. Right, so if we move into the city here, that's going to be fighting two sets of garrisons. What I'll probably do is I'll actually move you through there, and you can move in here, into the gap. And that's hopefully going to be sufficient. We do have the artillery within reach, so that is going to deal a decent bit of extra damage. These are a little bit low on supplies, though, so these are probably going to have to be the ones that do most of the fighting. Right now, anyway. But yeah, we'll clear out these towns. And then probably these two, then we'll just need to send in some troops around to clear out the rest of this. And then that is going to be a lot of the enemy pocket over here clean up. Of course, we do have the troops in, or a large portion of the troops in Peru now. Oh yeah, we've got some extra troops over here. I forgot that I sent them all the way there. But yeah, we could technically start advancing over there in the next episode. We'll just quickly capture the rest of these before we think about too much about ending the episode. Right, so we've got those still waiting. These are still starting to be in pretty good shape, so we could probably bring these in out with the rest of these. That was taking a lot of casualties there. Pull that one. The garrisons are still not posing too much of a problem. It's just a little bit casualties every now and then. How's the... You're still selling a lot of consumer goods here. We're selling a large chunk of it. And research breakthrough. Escape velocity has been completed. Did that unlock any... Oh, it probably did unlock some more things, but it's... Yeah, orbital launch system is now unlocked. And that is the next one to be researched anyway. So that's good. Is that... That gives the mission control, which is something that we will need to build. That's another 3% towards the space race. So how close are we? Okay, we're somewhere around third of the way through. Actually, over 40%, or around 40%, I think, is where we are right now. And NASA is already around 66%. So there is quite a difference in there. They'll probably win the space race, but oh well. It happens. You know what? Do we have supplies in the truck? We do. Let's bring the truck in here so we can fight more in Lorinda. And faster. Okay, so these are going to be in good shape already. We can send these, or almost in good shape. We'll send these, start attacking to the next area. We can bring in the artillery closer as well. And then I suppose we've got some troops over here which could attack there. And one of these to join that combat. The faster we can clear these, the better. I mean, the quicker the enemies lose cities, or especially bigger cities, then the quicker they will fall. Let's move these forward. So is there supplies in there? There's 4%. Nothing massive. It's a good start. So I'll probably do is I will end the episode here. I'll probably capture these towns, maybe even these towns, between the episodes. We'll set up in a position where we can either clear out this section, which could be useful. There's another 2 research labs in there. How many research labs do they have anyway? I don't remember if I can see from here somewhere. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think we can. So who are you fighting? You're fighting Paraguay and Argentina. Right, Paraguay has advanced a pretty decent distance over here. But they've not managed to destroy some of these pockets. And yeah, also next episode we'll start advancing into Peru, hopefully. And start clearing out at least up to this level. And then we can, well, it's going to be a long distance to get through here. So that's probably going to be our best bet as the secondary objective. And then from here we can advance towards Lima. And also towards the coastline. And once Lima falls, it's quite possible that Peru will fall. Although it's not guaranteed, but then after that is Ecuador, and then after Ecuador we don't know yet. I mean, there's only 3 wars going on for Argentina right now, and Brazil is probably going to be the one that lasts the longest time. Well, depends how quickly we can get to Rio de Janeiro. If we capture all of this, then there's not going to be that much in here. I mean, there's still going to be some cities further north, so it's probably not going to fall all that quickly. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.